Hey friends, I am back again. Where have I been? I've been traveling and I've been super sick. Well, still not 100%, so if my voice is like nasally or whatever, just go with it. So I have so much to share with you guys. I just got back from a week in Europe. I was in the UK, and then I was in Holland, in Rotterdam. So there's going to be a whole bunch of new reviews on some of the lounges I went to, and my air experience with AIRLINES, the Irish airline, which is part of today's video. And then just some like random hotel reviews and stuff like that. So lots of stuff coming your way, but today, I wanted to answer the question that, when I talked about it on my Instagram, it started blowing up and people were like, how did you do this? And da-da-da, and da-da. Chill. How do I get cheap business class tickets? How do I get cheap business class tickets? Everyone thinks, that business class or, the flatbed seats or whatever is something for, the rich and famous or, people who, want blow their money or people who have their companies paying for it, which, full disclosure, when I travel for work, companies do often pay for my, my trip to go lecture for them, and they buy me business class tickets just based on their company policies. So in those cases, I don't see it, I don't do anything with it, I just get the tickets and I do fly business class. But in other cases, when I'm paying for myself, right, I am cheap. I prefer financially responsible, but I want to have, a great experience of spending a lot of money. And yes, you can get very cheap business class tickets. In fact, this last trip coming back to Toronto from Dublin, Ireland, which before there was actually in Rotterdam, I got my business class ticket for under $1,000 Canadian. Under $1,000 Canadian! What is that, give or take? I'll write the exact numbers down below for you, but I did something, and these are the 2 words you want to write down because they're going to change your life. Upgrade auctions. Upgrade auctions, okay? So a number of airlines, again, Aer Lingus being my preferred airline when it comes to traveling to Europe, they will do what they call upgrade auctions. So how these work is basically you buy your ticket, you buy an economy ticket outright, pay whatever it was. I believe for me it was about $400 some odd, and from there, you get your economy ticket, whatever, but we don't want economy, right? Do I look like I fly economy usually? I do. But anyways, how does it work to get that economy ticket turned into an upgrade to business class, right? So what you're going to want to do is whenever you get one of these airlines, and there's a really good article from Forbes that links to this, I'm going to put it down below in my description for you. Once you get your economy class ticket with one of these airlines that offers upgrade bidding, they're going to give you the chance to really make an offer on bidding to upgrade to business class for your route, right? Each leg of your trip. Now, the cool thing about that is maybe you want to, only splurge on an upgrade on the way there, or maybe you only want to splurge on an upgrade on the way back. Whatever the case happens to be, you can bid on one leg of your trip, you can bid on every leg of your trip. The choice is really yours. Now, a few keys to making this work. If you think you are going to get on a plane from New York JFK to London Heathrow and bid on an upgrade, you are sorry out of luck, right? You are going to need to find a route and a flight day. Usually I like to do it on Sundays personally. You need to find airports and flight dates that are less likely to have business travelers, because if you have a plane full of business travelers and their corporate travel departments are paying for all their tickets, that business class cabin is going to be full, right? On my last leg from Dublin to Toronto, there were maybe 7 of us in the business class cabin, and I don't know how many of those people were like me there on an upgrade, but I would imagine I wasn't the only one. So again, step 1, find an airline that does upgrade auctions, right? Sorry, there's like an office next to my condo, and like I'm just watching the people work. Anyways, step 1, find an airline that does upgrade auctions, okay? My personal preferred airline when I go to Europe is Aer Lingus, but there's a number of them. Check it out for yourself before you book a ticket. Step 2, find a travel day and a route when there are less business class passengers, right? And if you go to something like Expedia or Orbitz or whatever booking engine, even the airline's own website that you use, provided you're not doing this too far ahead of time, check how many of those business class seats are already booked, right? If there's like 2 seats available, odds are those aren't gonna go to you, or you're gonna have to place a really high bid. But if that business class cabin is dead empty, you've got a pretty good shot at getting a seat. So that's the next step. So upgrade auction, step 1. Step 2, day and route that doesn't have a lot of business travelers. Step 3, wait for the airline to email you with the opportunity to upgrade, and then place a bid. Now, I have personally, and this is just my experience, your results may vary, I always place the minimum bid, which In the case of my routes, it's usually about $500 to $600 Canadian, or about 300 to 400 euros, and I have gotten upgraded every single time. That is my personal experience. Your results may vary. If you want a better shot at your upgrade on a busier flight or whatever the case happens to be, you might want to pick that. They literally have like a little spinner that goes like this, like not so good with red, fair chance with orange, and then like good chance with yellow and green. You might want to actually bid a bit more, but personally, I've always done the minimum bid, right? So that's all there is to it, right? This is not some weird thing where you're gonna do some weird shit with credit cards. This is not some thing where you're gonna do some weird, like, booking a ticket and then getting off halfway when it's stopped. No, this is no weird shit like that. This is not some weird MLM travel club. All this is knowing what airline to fly, what route to fly, and what day to fly. That's all there is to it. Super simple. So check it out. Check out the article below from Forbes, which I think you're going to find a really useful resource. And if you've bid on, upgrades before and it's worked for you, let me know in the comments. If it hasn't worked for you, let me know in the comments. And again, like I always say, I need to know what you guys like about these videos to make them better, so share your feedback on what you loved, what you didn't love, what you want to see, and make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can get new content. I can't even talk today, as it becomes available. So I hope you found these tips useful. I hope you can find success just like I have with upgrading to business class for really, really cheap, and I will see you with more cool stuff on the next video.